Spoiler alert if you have not watched the first episode of Orphan Black, which airs on Saturday nights on BBC America at 9 p.m. I wanted to review this show because I tried watching it on Saturday night in a large group of people. Everybody's talking and doing their own thing and making jokes and arguing about what Gestalt means. So I watched it again just now and I have some thoughts for you. I love Felix. The actor is pretty funny. The fact that he's not even British is actually really impressive. I like the jokes between him and Sarah that are really sort of back and forth. You could tell they grew up together, which is really nice. Tatiana, who plays Sarah, is terrific. I think the fact that she's able to portray someone who's pretending to be somebody else and letting little pieces of the other character slip into the character that she's impersonating is really cool, especially when she says, "Aren't you supposed to be back on the weekend?" which Canadians and Americans don't say, British people say. I think that the character slips way too much, and if she's going to try to maintain being Beth, like if Sarah's going to continue to try to be Beth, it's not going to work if she keeps slipping like that because people pick up on things. I feel like it's not that easy to absorb someone else's life. Maybe that's just, you have to suspend disbelief, but I feel like it's really difficult to just waltz into someone's life and sort of take over as she did. The fact that she just sort of slides in, all she has to do is paint her hair and watch a few videos of the girl and she can immediately assume her life. People are going to start discovering that she's not actually Beth because people have different ways of walking and holding themselves and body language and staring and different sort of facial things that they do. It's not going to work. She's not going to be able to hold it up for very long. I think the music is really good, and that's really important to me when I watch a show. It's the reason I like Battlestar. It's the reason I love one of the reasons I love Doctor Who. I like the opening sequence. I think it's super trippy and weird, and it sort of like gets you into the mood of this is a really weird show, and it's going to be really strange. Just prepare yourself. The sex scene is pretty epic. It was pretty salacious, as the folks would say. I guess we're not really used to, maybe I'm not really used to seeing things like that full frontal, especially not on primetime television. And clearly she just wanted to distract him. I mean, that's one way to solve the does he know who I am? Is he going to figure this out problem? Is just start. So that opening scene, the real Beth jumps off the bridge and kills herself. It's clear to me that Beth was either on the train or knew where Sarah was or was following Sarah, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. She wouldn't have known that was Sarah, and that she wouldn't have turned around and had the sort of, I knew it was you kind of a stern reaction. Why take your shoes and your jacket off to jump in front of a train? Is there something, maybe there's something there, maybe there's something having to do with the jacket, I don't know, I highly doubt it. If it's me, I'm not exactly going to say to myself, well, I'd better take these designer high heel stilettos off. There's got to be a reason behind it. It's in the direction, clearly. But I'm interested to find out, maybe in interviews or something, if they talk about why she took off her shoes and her jacket. If I go to a conference or a Comic-Con and there's a panel for this, I will be the person that stands up and says, "Hi, can you tell me why you chose to take your shoes and your jacket off?" I know that's a really weird waste of a question, especially when there's probably a lot of other things that are going to come, but it's the kind of thing that stands out to me, and it makes little to no sense. Unless there's a greater significance to it, in which case Katya was coughing or spitting things up. I feel like the clones don't all survive. Maybe there's some sort of degenerative disease that they are all contracting. That rhyme that Katya says to Beth, or Sarah as Beth, is clearly something that's going to return. It's clearly some way that they tell who's who. So maybe there's bad clones and there's good clones. That's a really cool prospect. I think this show is really cool. I'm looking forward to the next episode. We'll see how it does. If it continues to have these random red herrings of, why did she take her shoes off? Why did she take her? It's going to get to me. Like, I'm going to be like, what was the point of that? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. I want to know what kind of t-shirts or shirts Beth falls asleep in that aren't the Clash t-shirts. What's wrong with the Clash? I like the Clash. Okay, because Beth doesn't rock. I'm like, whatever, Paul. No one's judging here. She can rock if she wants to. You don't know Beth. You don't know everything about Beth. You've only been dating for 2 years. You don't know. Anyway.